Hi, welcome to Sri Software Solution. In this session, we are going to learn about inheritance. First, what is inheritance? It is one of the concept in object-oriented programming language that allow to access one class to another class to inherit the properties such as variables and methods. Types of inheritance. We have six level of inheritance, but in Java we have only three level. It won't support all the six level. In C++ we can write all the six level of inheritance, but in all the high level languages, in Java particularly, we can write a three level of inheritance. They are single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance. Only this three level we can suppose to write in Java application. And why we are using inheritance? The purpose of inheritance is reusability. Again and again, no need to write a same set of code. Okay. Wherever we need, we can use that code directly. Okay. So for that purpose, we are creating the inheritance concept. Okay. First, we'll see the tree structure of the inheritance. Okay. See, types of inheritance. Here, I mentioned a single level, multi-level, and a hierarchical. Okay. So, only the three level will support in Java. I already told you single level, multi-level, and hierarchical. So, that three level you just first concentrate in that. Other three levels, okay, no need to concentrate much more. Okay, in this language I'm telling. Okay, so let's start the single level inheritance. So what is single level inheritance? One class is derived with another class. It is a single level inheritance. That means one parent and child. Okay, so whatever the properties we are having for that parent class, that all the properties will come around to the child, and for child also we are having some properties. Okay, so like this way we need to create the single level inheritance. Okay, one class is derived with another class, that is single level. Okay, and while you move on to the multi level, here we are having a grandfather, father, and a child, like that consider. Okay, here grandfather also we are having some member data member function, and here also we are having some member data member function, and here also we are having some member data member function. Okay, consider in real time for our human being, for all the generation they are having some properties. So after that person, okay, that all the properties has come around to the father, and after this it will come around to the child. Okay, like that way we are comparing with the properties in real time, but here we are comparing with the member data and member function, because this is class, right? So inside the class we need to write a member data member function constructor, that only we are going to write it, right? So whatever the declarations we declared here, we can get the value. If you need to print the value there, you can print it, or else if you need to print that variable value to the father class or child class also, we can print it. Okay, so like that way we can access it. We'll do it in a practical, then you can able to understand what is inheritance, how we are going to create it, everything we'll see that. Okay, and as well as it will support the hierarchical inheritance. In that we are having parent and the three child. Okay, like this way we can create. Okay, but this one also we need to use abstract class or interface concept to achieve this kind of inheritance. Okay, we need to use abstract class or interface. In that time only we can implement this tree structure. Okay, so that one also will see how to write the hierarchical. And for multiple inheritance is not supported, and here we are having two base class, one child, father, mother and the child. This one is not supported, and as well as hybrid and multipath also is not supported in high level language. Okay, so now we are going to see the practical session for the single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and as well as hierarchical inheritance. For hierarchical, we can use abstract class or we can use interface. Okay, but I will do it both, abstract class and interface. Okay, so how to achieve this kind of inheritance, we'll see that one also. Okay, so just note it down, the tree structure, and let's move on to the practical session. Okay, okay, let's open the Eclipse. And first we will see the single level inheritance, and then we will create a multi-level everything. Okay, so we'll create one more project for that. First, file new Java project. Okay, this is for the single level inheritance. Okay, just click next and finish. Okay, now the project is created. Now right click, and first we will create the main function. Okay, so I'm going to give the main function name as program, and here com.string, and I need to create the main function automatically. So for that I'm checking this checkbox and click finish. That's it. Now the main function is created. Okay, now we need to write a static block and system dot out dot println. This is single level inheritance. Okay, so for that we are going to create the program here. So I'm given a heading like this. Okay, so now here what I'm going to do, first we will create the single level inheritance program class first. Okay, so we will plan for the personal detail or else person detail. Okay, I'm going to create a person detail, and as well as one more class for a, if the person is there now, next what we need to give for them, education. So I'm using education detail. I created two classes. Okay, and this one is a base class, this one is a base class. Okay, and here this one is a subclass. Okay, so now I'm going to extend this base class to subclass. How I need to extend? Using extends keyword we need to extend. Okay, if you write like this, your base class is automatically derived to the subclass. Okay, our base class is derived to the subclass here. Okay, so we need to give the extends keyword, and don't forget to write this line. Okay, then only that inheritance program, inheritance concept will execute here. Okay, and then this is the main function I'm dragging here. Okay, and this is a main function, this is a first class person, and then education, and as well as program. Okay, and in this program class I need to create the object for the education. Okay, for inheritance we need to create the object for the last class only. Okay, not a base class. That is, we need to create the object only for the subclass, not for the base class. Okay, I created the object, and using this object I can able to access the personal detail and as well as education details also. Okay, first we'll complete the personal detail here. So what is the personal detail? We need to give name, and I'm going to give only the mobile number. Okay, so mobile number also we can make it as long. Okay, name, mobile number, and location. Okay, these are all the personal detail, and I need to assign the value, right? So get person detail. Like that I'm creating one function definition, and as well as public void show person detail. Okay, one more function. Okay, so like this we'll write it. Okay, and then we'll move on to the education. For education, here also we need to create some variable declaration, right? So here what we need to write, qualification. Okay, and int mark. Okay, that's it. And I need to display the qualification, and I need to get the qualification, right? So for that I'm creating like this, show education detail. Okay, that's it. All the functions is created. Now I need to access that all the functions through this object. So here we need to call first get person detail. First we need to enter the name, mobile number and everything, and after that we need to get the education detail also, and after collecting all the values we need to print the output, right? So for that I'm going to write one system.out.println, then result. Like that I'm writing one message, and then I need to call that show person detail. First we need to print the person detail and then show education detail. Okay, that's all. Our main function process is completed, and using this subclass object I can able to access all the functions whatever we written inside that. Okay, now once you execute this line, okay, obj.getPersonDetail, immediately it will go to the education detail class only, right? So in this education detail class we are not having that function. By the help of this extend keyword it will automatically derive the base class, and it will go to the base class, and here we are having a function, and whatever the code we are going to write it here, that will execute. Okay, and after completing this again it will go to this main function. The next process is get education detail. So it's refer the object, and it will go to this class, and here we are having a get education detail. Whatever the code we are going to write it here, that will execute. Okay, so after getting all the inputs, finally we need to print the result, right? So for that again it will call the show person detail obj. It's referring the education class object. It will go here first, but here I'm not having that function. By the help of extends keyword it will go to the base class, and here we are having a function. Already we get the runtime input, right? So whatever the values we are having here, using that value it will print the output. Okay, and after printing this again it will go to this, and here we are having an education detail, show education detail. Again it's refer the object, it will go to this class, and already we are getting this input here, right? And whatever the input we are getting in this function, it will display the output here. Okay, so like this way the program will execute. If you understand this concept, we'll move on to the next process. And next what we need to do it here, we need to get the value, right? So for that first we need to write a scanner object. Okay, scanner obj or else s1 equal to new scanner. Okay, and here system dot in. So how many scanner we need for this? This is for the string, and one more scanner for the long. Okay, and we need to change the object. Okay, so now the scanner object is declared, and using that object we need to get the input. So how to get the input? System dot out dot print, and here enter name. Okay, name equal to s1 dot next line. Okay, and in the same way system dot out dot print ln. Just copy this and I need to write here, and this is for the mobile. Okay, and here mobile equal to s2 dot next long. Okay, and we need to get the location. Okay, for the location we need to write location equal to again s1 is for the next line, and the one thing we need to change it here, this is for s2, right? So we need to create a s2 for long. Okay, now after getting the input we need to print the output, right? So for that I'm using print ln, and here person name. Okay, plus name. I just copied this line and I'm going to paste it, and here I need to print the mobile, and as well as I need to print the location. Okay, now here location we need to change it, and here mobile. That's it. Okay, so like this way we need to create the input and the output code using scanner object I created. And now let's move on to the education, and here also we need a scanner, right? I'm having two data types, so I need to create s1. So once I returned, see the packages is automatically generated, so don't worry about the packages here. Okay, that import java.util.scanner, that package is created. So this is for the integer I'm going to use it. Okay, so we need to change the object. Okay, so next I need to get the input, right? So system dot out dot print, here enter qualification. Okay, qualification equal to s1 dot next line. Okay, and in the same way I need to copy it, paste it here. This is for the mark, right? So we need to write mark, and the mark is an integer, right? So int, I'm using s2, and here we need to change the variable as a mark. Okay, now finally we'll print the output for this. So here print ln, so person qualification. Okay, is plus qualification, and in the same way just copy this one and paste it one more time, and here we need to assign a mark. Okay, so here person mark. Okay, so that's it, we completed everything, and main function also we are already completed. Okay, so now we'll run this. So here we need to give the input, some mobile number, and then location, and then qualification, and then mark. Okay, so whatever the input we are getting, everything it's printing the output here. Okay, so here this three variable we are getting from the base class output, and another 3 variable we are getting from the subclass. Okay, so like that way it will execute the code. So now you have any doubts in this for the single level inheritance? Okay, so like this way we can execute the code. Okay, so next we'll create the multi-level inheritance. Okay, how to create, we'll see that. For that I will create one more project. Inheritance, multi-level inheritance. I will give one underscore here. Okay, just click finish. This is a multi-level inheritance. Okay, so see, inheritance concept, the purpose of inheritance is reusability. Okay, so what I'm going to do, first I will create a main function. Okay, for this project we need a main function. I will create it, that one. So program, like that I will give the name, and I click the checkbox, and as well as here form.string. Okay, so like that I create it. Click finish. Okay, now the main function is ready. And now what I'm going to do, previously I created a person and education class, right? So this two classes I'm going to copy it from here, and I need that two classes in this program. So I just copied from the single level inheritance to multi-level inheritance. So I'm reusing that concept. So now I'm getting the person detail and as well as education detail. Okay, and I need to create a one more class for employee details. Okay, so for this employee detail, which one is subclass here? Base class. Okay, this is a base class. I already told you this is a base class, and this one is a subclass. Okay, subclass 1, and this is the base class. This is the base for employee details. Okay, so before class is the base class for the next class. Okay, so here you can assign extend with education. Okay, now for education employment details we need to create, but in single level inheritance, see how we created the main function object. For education detail we created, right, the same. I'm going to copy it from here and I'm going to paste it here, and I need a static block also. I just copying and pasting here, and this is the multi-level inheritance. Okay, so for multi-level inheritance no need to create the object for the education class. Here we need to create the object for the employee detail. So employee detail is a subclass, that is the last class here, right? So for employment we need to create the object. Now you understand? So this is a base class, person detail and education detail. After the person they will be getting some education, and after educator the person, they are getting the employment. So I created the employee class. Okay, so now using this main function for employee details I created the object. Okay, so instead of that we need to create some functions here also, right? So what we need to do here, public void get employee detail. It's not selecting properly. Okay, employee detail. Okay, and we need to create a one more function for show employee detail. Okay, so these two functions we need to call here. So first we need to call the get employee details, and finally we need to call the show employee details. Okay, Only this changes we need to add it in this multi-level inheritance main function. Okay, so now we'll write the definition for this. Okay, so here we'll write a designation or else role, okay, and salary. Okay, and we need to scanner again, s1 equal to new scanner system dot in. Okay, in the same way I need to create one more scanner, and this is for the s2. Okay, and for the time saving I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here, and this one I will change it enter role. Okay, and this one I'm going to change it as a salary, right? And not a qualification here, so we need write role, and here we need write salary. Okay, so after getting the input we need to print the output, so for that I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so here it is role, right, not a qualification, so we'll change the role name like that. So we get role, and here salary. Okay, person salary. Okay, so now everything is finished. Okay, so now we'll run the program for the multi-level inheritance. Before class is the base class for the next class. Okay, whatever the final class we are having here, using that class we can create the object in a main function, and using that object we can able to access all the member data and member function. I am accessing only the member data here, not a member function. Sorry, I am accessing only the member function, not a member data. If we need to access member data also, we can write it. Okay, so we'll run this. Okay, so this is a multi-level, and I'm going to write a name, some mobile number, and the location Chennai, qualification as MSc IT, mark role developer, salary 55. Okay, so that's it. We are getting all the input and the output. Okay, like this way the code will execute, and now you got some idea about a single level inheritance and multi-level inheritance, is it? So in the same way, if we need to create after employment, if we need to create bank details also, we can create it. For example, see here I'm going to write the bank details. So after employment, we are getting salary. We are going to open an account in a bank, and we are going to maintain the bank account. Okay, like that we can write whatever the concept you need, we can write continuously. Okay, so if I add a bank detail here, which class we have to inherit? Employee detail class. Okay, so now we need to create the object for the bank detail, not for the employee detail. Okay, we need to create the object for the bank detail, not for the employee details. Now here bank detail obj equal to new bank detail, like that we have to create it. Okay, right now I am not having any functions. Okay, here I didn't return any code. Okay, in future if you are writing how I added the employee details here, get employee detail, show employee detail, in the same way you can add the obj dot get bank detail, obj dot show bank detail, like that you can add it, it will execute. Okay, so here I'm not added anything, just normally I'm going to execute this code. Okay, some number I'm given here, and location is Chennai, and as well as my qualification MSc, and as well as some mark and role and the salary. Okay, only this one I added here. Okay, so if I entered some other code in our bank detail, that will also execute. So here we are not having any condition, only 3 class, only 2 class, like that we are only we need to create, like that we don't have any other restriction, we can inherit a lot of concept in the same way. See, in this class I need to print see, public void show account details, like that I will create one function. See, in this I'm not having any variable. Okay, but I need to print this name. Okay, I need to print the name. Okay, and I need to print the qualification from here. I just copied the qualification. Okay, I need to print the qualification, and as well as from education detail class I need to print the salary. Okay, like this in all the classes I'm going to take on one variable, and here in show account details I'm just printing this message. Okay, consider like that. So account is created successfully. Okay, like this I return one message. Okay, so now I need to access this message through this main function. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to write one more here, account details. Okay, so like this I created one line, and after that I need to display the show account details. Okay, see, I'm going to run this. In base class I'm getting the input, this one. Okay, and this is from subclass. Okay, that is education class, I'm getting this input, and this is from another subclass, and employee details I'm getting the input. Okay, so see, whatever the inputs I'm getting in a 3 classes, I'm not return any input statement in bank detail, but the bank details is printing all the information. Okay, so now I'm accessing the variable value from one class to another class. Okay, so it's printing all the details, right? MSc, salary, successfully account created, like this message I return, but I'm not having any variable here, but I can able to access it. Okay, how it is possible? This name, qualification, salary, it's printing here by the help of this extends keyword. And as well as in all the classes in Java, whatever the variables you declared here, that variable is defaultly declared using the public access specifier. Okay, we are having public in all the variables. I didn't return public here. Okay, but in all the variables it is declared by defaultly as a public, like this way only, so that I can able to access that variable here without any error. Okay, suppose if I'm going to declare this variable as a private. Okay, so in that time, see, immediately it will display the error. That means private variable cannot access from the outside of the class. Only in that class we can able to access it, but here it won't allow. Okay, by defaultly this class variable is considered as a public. If you're not writing anything, it is a public only. Okay, so we are not supposed to access that variable from the outside of the class. But if you make it this one as a public, in that time it won't display any error. See, the error is gone. Okay, now we got the difference how to access this variable to the another class. Okay, so you can get the input, but here in last class I'm not having any input, just I need to print the bank details. Okay, so for that purpose I'm using like this. Okay, so in the same way, I'm having bank detail, I'm having some account. Okay, and I need to create one more class. Okay, after bank details, what we are going to do, we are purchasing some loan in a bank, right? For housing loan or education loan, like that we need to create it. So for that we need to create one more class, right? So we'll add a loan class, loan details, like that, or shopping detail. Okay, loan or shopping, anything we can do it based upon that account balance. We'll do it, right? So now which class is going to inherit here? Extend with bank detail. Why? Because in bank detail, how much I am having a account, based upon that account balance, I need to purchase the loan, or I need to purchase the shopping concept. That you can write it here. So like similarly, we can write a n number of classes. There is no any limit, but I don't want this class. Okay, I need to stop the inheritance till up to bank details. So what we need to do for that, we'll create this class as a final. If we make it as final, see, here we are getting the error message. Okay, so final class is not allowed to access to the next class. Okay, so bank detail is a final class. I'm stopping that inheritance. Okay, so we are not able to access this bank class to the loan detail or shopping detail class. Okay, so now the inheritance is stopped. Till that we are not able to access this class to the next class. Okay, so like this way we can stop the inheritance also. Okay, so now if you're writing like this, it will display the error message. Okay, so now you've got some idea about multi-level inheritance. Okay, so now how to clear this error? Once we need to remove it from here, otherwise we have to remove the final keyword here. Okay, so now the error is not displaying. Okay, this is the multi-level inheritance. Any doubts in this? Okay, next we'll move on to the abstract class. Okay, in abstract class or interface, okay, we can use abstract class or interface concept for the hierarchical inheritance. Okay, so in that we are having one base class more than a subclass. Okay, that concept we will implement there. So in next session we'll see the abstract class. Okay, thanks for watching.